As we said earlier, open
Woo.
worlds were a huge innovation in gaming, but we asked the question, what is the biggest innovation in gaming? I would tell you, but I would end up spoiling the countdown. This week's Top Zen is our top 10 innovations in gaming, and I will kick us off with number 10. Number 10 is a little thing called Z-targeting, aka locking on. Z-targeting, also known as L-targeting, is a reoccurring skill pioneered in the Legend of Zelda series. Talk about, the Legend of Zelda being, pioneer of open world. This is the real nug that the Legend of Zelda, I think, gave us that revolutionized gaming. But basically, Z-targeting is a system of locking on to an enemy, characters, or objects using a specific button, depending on the game. With Z-targeting, enemy attacking, basically when you're using Z-targeting with Link, you would keep your attention focused on that character and allowed you to sidestep and move your character in relevance to the other character on the screen. That was revolutionary for games that didn't really understand how to interact in the 3D world. And you could see a lot of these kind of fumbles with that in the early Mario game, Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64, Banjo-Kazooie. None of these games had some kind of way to really lock on to your enemies. And it did make it a little bit harder and a bit more difficult just to line up your character in the 3D realm. But once you have a targeting system and you have your character actually orient themselves to based on another character, it solved a lot of those problems and allowed you to attack and interact with those characters a lot more fluidly. The camera creates a letterbox or a widescreen view when it's in The Legend of Zelda that kind of allows you to know that you're in that mode too. And so the literal frame would change to kind of help you kind of realize that that's what you're in. And those things ended up laying the groundworks for the same kind of mechanics that exist in, Jedi Fallen Order. That same kind of Z-targeting interaction still exists in there as well, where you kind of have your whole character orient themselves to another character object on the screen. Rocket League is another example of something that I can think of that uses the Z-targeting kind of lock-on mechanic to help you find with the ball. You can turn on and off relatively quickly, but that, allows that game to be playable for most people. Zelda wasn't the first game to make locking onto enemies a thing, but it definitely set the standard of how locking onto enemies should work for generations to come. But what's up next is a real game changer. Kev, what do we have coming in at number 9 on this week's countdown?
Yes, the cross-game saves. And this isn't to be confused with cross-play or cloud saves. I'm talking about your character, you save a game. Okay, you know what? Let me just get into it. In 2007, Mass Effect launched and the world of sci-fi and RPGs was changed forever. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, yeah, well, he's a Mass Effect fanboy. Of course he's going to sit here and put this on a list. But listen to me. Here we go. In the game, you play as Commander Shepard and can fully customize your experience to your character's physical features, backstory, and story arc decisions. Okay, what's special about that? Every RPG does that. Now, on the surface, as far as the RPG genre is concerned, that doesn't sound revolutionary, but where the innovation shines is the ability to have all the decisions, customizations, and choices be saved and have consequences across the entire trilogy. So, for instance, kill or sacrifice a main character in the first game, which can be done. And guess what? They are dead for the rest of the series. Or you could even exterminate an entire race of aliens. Sorry, Arachnite Queen. For instance, in Mass Effect 2, your entire crew can be killed in the final mission. And guess what? That's right, they will not be in Mass Effect 3. Other games that adapted this technology include Dragon Age, the Dragon Age series, Fable 3, kind of, and there's a few others, but they didn't quite do it as they did in Mass Effect. Like, this was so groundbreaking that depending what you did, you might just have to start all the way over to the first game to get the kind of story or experience you're hoping for. But anyways, Jake, speaking of cross things in the world of gaming, what do you got for us at number 8?
Jake's muted.
Oh,
My
There you
bad.
go.
I was
No worries.
typing and my keyboard is metal. So
That makes sense.
so instead of everybody just hearing crack, 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 I was like,
that's
all right, let me mute that. But since the early days of online gaming, the dream was to allow players on one console to play against those on another. Tons of PlayStation fans have always wanted to play against Xbox guys, and us Xbox guys have wanted to play against PlayStation guys, and so forth and so on to the Nintendo people and the PC folks. We've kind of all wanted to see, like, there's no way to see who the real master race is until we can all get in there together, right, guys?
The Nintendo people and the PC folk. This sounds like, like everything was fine until the Fire Tribe attacked.
It was, but and it wasn't until late 2019, however, that true cross-platform functionality became a reality. Final Fantasy, I believe it was 11, may hold the Guinness record for the first cross-platform video game in 2002, but the popularity of competitive online games like Rocket League and Fortnite Battle Royale made that more of a reality. It was in late 2018 that, under pressure from Fortnite developer Epic Games, Sony caved and allowed cross-play on PS4. Well, we'll always have Fortnite to thank for crossplay finally becoming a reality, even if the game's players hate the imbalance between PC, console, and even mobile players, which is true. Oh my God, dude. Sometimes you'll get into a game with Switch players and you could just straight clap those kids. It's the same as mobile. If somebody's on a cell phone playing me on my PC, I am ruining your
Playing
day.
Fortnite?
Yeah, Fortnite.
You can play Fortnite on a phone?
1,000%.
Yes, 1,000%. You can play Fortnite
Against
on an
someone on
iPhone
PC.
against me on my PC. Yeah.
Oh, that
You
sounds
shouldn't.
terrible.
But
You
you
should
can.
not be able to,
Yeah.
but you can. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's, but dude, that's the free market capitalism, baby. But Call of Duty Modern Warfare may have perfected crossplay by allowing players to customize cross-console matchmaking, where basically you can cap, like if you don't want to play, which some things have rolled out. I know Rocket League did for a fact. I remember because I was a console Rocket League player, and when they allowed us to play against PC Rocket League players, I went from being good to being like, I'm never playing this game again, and so because PC players were just clapping my cheeks. And so luckily they made it to where there was a setting where you could be like, I don't want to play with those kids. You could put it on. And so it was just, Xbox versus PlayStation, which I was cool with. I can do that. But while cross-platform was huge, the next one saved my butt more than once, literally. Dodd, what's at number 7 on this week's countdown?
Yeah, well, number 7 on this week's countdown is digital game storage or cloud saves. Yeah, digital game storage and cloud saves really changed gaming forever. Cloud-based saves allow your game data to travel from console to console or even cross-platform sometimes because all of your data is literally in a cloud. Cartridges, consoles, and disc hardware storage has its limits, but cloud saves allows us a huge game files without needing terabytes of external storage units. Now, this is something that was more of like a housekeeping kind of thing. We had the ability previously to store large amounts of data. We'd get big consoles, right? We had the ability to transfer that data between two consoles, right? We had cartridges, but we didn't really have a way that mixed both of those together. And cloud-based saves change that entirely. Now your game data travels with your game onto whatever platform that you wanted it to, because your data is literally in a cloud,
In space.
In space. Yes. What are some ways that you really feel that cloud storage really revolutionized gaming? Kev?
Yeah, I even put in the chat, like, just not having to worry about my memory cards being wiped. Because that happened so many times as a kid. It was so frustrating. I got to have all these things, like everything on there, and then I go and plug it in, and I'm like, it doesn't exist anymore. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
and if you had a memory card that had all the Smash data that you needed for all the unlockable characters, and you brought that over,
it was gone.
to someone else's house to kind of show it off or anything else like that. Also, one, you're the coolest kid on the block. If they didn't,
that's true too.
If they didn't have all the characters, and then you just brought over, be like, guess what I got on this motherfucker? Mewtwo, bitch.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Well, I mean, no one really does this anymore, going to anyone's houses, but like, that was the thing. Like, you couldn't just bring the game and a controller. You had to bring your memory.
Yeah. No,
And God forbid it was like the Xbox 360. You had to bring the big ass hard drive.
oh
right?
my god, that fucking thing that plugged on the top of that thing. That was so
Yeah.
ridiculous. But I have like a fun like memory card story. Recently, I was playing we were playing Super Smash Bros on my GameCube, and my friend Christopher is like, "You don't have all the characters unlocked." And I was like, "Well, no, actually I just bought it not long ago, and I really haven't had time to grind through and unlock everybody." And he goes, "Hold on." He went out to his car and comes back. The dude had a GameCube memory card and
No
was
way.
like, "This has all the characters unlocked on it. It's my memory card. I
Keep
don't
that
need it."
thing on
Yeah,
me.
he didn't have a
Yeah, I was
GameCube
gonna say, it just
anymore.
keeps it on
He didn't
the-
have a GameCube anymore, but he had this fucking memory card with all the characters
Just
unlocked
get
and was
them.
like, "Here, you hold on to this." And I was
Break
like,
in case
Okay.
somebody needs all their characters unlocked in Melee.
exactly. It's like he walks around with multiples. And he's just like,
Yeah.
"Yo, you need all the characters on Smash? Here you go."
Man.
That's
Yeah.
that's a big flex. That's a big flex. But
Yeah, it
you
was.
don't need that anymore because it's all in the cloud now.
On the cloud.
Ba-ba-bum.
Yeah.
Thank you, digital game storage. But digital game storage wasn't nearly as crucial of an innovation to gaming as number 6 is or could be.
Yeah.
Kev, what's number 6 in the countdown?
Yeah, number 6, Dad, is VR or AR or both. Both. In 2012, Oculus VR launched with a Kickstarter campaign hoping to raise $250,000 and build a working prototype. Ended up raising over $2 million because fuck yeah, we want that. We want it to work. And that was just the beginning. As excitement built and virtual reality started to seem like more than just a pipe dream, Facebook bought Oculus for $2 billion. God, that guy must feel so happy.
Yeah.
By the end of the decade, VR still hasn't really caught on with a mainstream audience, but it feels closer than ever. Hardware prices keep dropping and the software keeps getting better, or at least more tantalizing. Titles like Super Hot and Job Simulator blur the lines between tech demo and video game, but perhaps the best example is Beat Saber, a Star Wars Dance Dance Revolution mashup so popular it even appeared on Jimmy Fallon. In November 2019, Facebook bought Beat Games, the company behind Beat Saber. There's another game on here. What's the one that you have to like defuse the bomb? I played that with my mom.
It's
and
not
her
Exploding
friends.
Kitties,
That
I don't
was-
think, is it?
No. It's like one you. Yeah, it's crazy.
I know
But
what you're talking
yeah.
about, though. It's nerve wracking.
Yeah.
It's called
Yeah.
So You Want to Be a Republican.
More or less.
Yeah.
As the decade ends, VR still isn't mainstream, but it no longer feels as out of reach as it did back in 2012. And if the virtual world isn't your thing, why not try out some games in hours? Not confined to a TV computer monitor, AR games allow for a perspective unique to the gamer. Hello, Pokemon Go.
Yep.
Yeah.
The maneuver spaces within the real world and make the object of a game applicable to real life situations. For example, play table hockey or kitchen counter from any angle or partake in some puzzles mapped out via obstacles in your backyard. AR and VR are pushing games into a much more immersive future, but this next advancement also changed the way we game forever. Jake, what do we have at number 5 this week?
Yeah. Number 5 this week. I don't want to start it off with the classic back in my day, but back in my day, you had to go wait in line at a store to buy a video game. Now they're just a few clicks away. Not only can you buy video games completely digitally these days, you can also save your files digitally as well. Like the cloud saves, like we said, and then you can also stream these games, which is something that's getting newer and even bigger by the moment. Basically, all of your games come directly from the cloud. Not only can you buy a digital version to live on your console or PC, game streaming is coming with innovations like GeForce Now and Google Stadia. Gamers can always watch and share live streams of games, very similar to movie streaming. Game streaming gives you the ability to become, or gives you the ability. The ability to stream video games is becoming more and more a reality, and it could lead to game developers, both big and small, competing for gaming glory. Cloud gaming services like Google Stadia, or is it Stadia? Stadia? Yeah, Stadia and xCloud aspire to deliver AAA gaming experiences on tablets and phones, even if it's not quite there yet. But speaking of games on demand, the next innovation might have made gaming bigger than ever. Dodd, can you tell people what number 4 on this week's countdown is?
Yes, it's also streaming, but in another way. Number 4 on the countdown is Twitch. While Gen X had MTVs and millennials have YouTube vloggers, Gen Z has streamers. The internet's personality-driven culture economy evolved in the 2010s as Twitch launched, and in 2011, as evolved in 2010 as Twitch, launched in 2011 and acquired by Amazon for $97 million in 2014, became the premier platform for gamers who stopped yelling about their KD ratios privately and began yelling about their KD spread for live audiences, dozens and dozens of them at a time. It was this entertainment that saw the rise of Richard Ninja Blevins. Blevins. Is that what Ninja's real name is? Yeah, I guess so. Emerging as the first as Halo 3 and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Pro, Ninja began streaming sessions to the mega popular battle royale shooter Fortnite in September 2017. He amassed a live audience of 2 million viewers within 6 months. And then became the face of pro gaming and internet fame. I have seen so many fucking ads with, "Hey, it's Ninja here. Hey, Ninja here. Hey, Ninja here." I get it. And your dumb fucking successful ass face. Ninja would later break Twitch stream records when he played Fortnite with pop megastar Drake in March 2018. Visible evidence of the blurred lines that separate gaming from mainstream mass culture. 2 years later, rap star Lupe Fiasco skipped the Grammy Awards to play Street Fighter V against pro Urmihara Diago. But Ninja versus Drake was the single crystallization of the 2010s youth culture distilled into one single moment caught on camera for the world to see. And obviously, I mean, Twitch has meant a lot for us because that's where you're watching us on. Right.
And now we even have AOC streaming, politicians are getting into it. And it's just, Twitch is just, it's not just a huge innovation in gaming. It's a huge innovation, I believe, in just like how we're viewing things in general,
Almost like Discord.
Yeah.
With streaming.
It's interesting to see how game culture has evolved with Twitch. And honestly, it's also changed how I view games and play games. If I right now, and I hate that I do it and I have to coach myself out of it, but right now, if I save the good games that I want to play for Twitch. Like I haven't played Jedi Fallen Order all this last week because I haven't been able to stream it, and I want to keep the storyline from the last part that I played it off. And like all that whole mechanic of thinking about what content you're consuming or playing or whatever the case may be only exists because Twitch is there. And that's just one tiny example of how it's shaped my gaming habits. It's definitely done much more for Sax feels me on that. It's done all of these. Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
I was just gonna say I'm the opposite. It's like I honestly I'll get a game and I'll go, I should stream this, but I really want to play it, and I don't feel like taking a shower or do anything so because I feel like if I'm gonna stream it, I want to be like camera ready. I want to have washed my hair. At least tried to make the beard look good that day or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, when I'm playing a video game, it's because I just got finished with a wake and bake session, and I want to just relax for a little bit. And so it's one of those where I've got to start getting more in the mindset of playing games not at weird times, because I'm very much a weird and I also it's the point of setting aside
weird times are the most successful times on Twitch, man.
Oh, I know, but then I also got to get out of feeling like I need to be camera ready, I guess, because I play games like I said. I don't always want to get a shower before I play video games.
There's this new thing that I got on my new PC here, and it's called fucking get this thing out of the way. Animes. Okay. And what it is it's like a little avatar that you can stick up and it'll track your facial movement, but it's you can be like a little cute little squirrel or, a digital avatar. And so look, you can just play that way. And then you won't have to worry about,
if I was an animator, I would make a gorillas of myself. I would have made a Twitch streamer personality by now.
Yeah.
Or yeah, you could just have like a virtual streamer, Jake.
Yeah.
And, just complete a
I downloaded it on my new PC, and I found that there was one of them that looks like a virus, and I made Core the coronavirus. He's a little coronavirus in the cowboy hat.
Nice.
All right.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
I don't think he'll ever be a part of the stream, but he's a character, He's definitely got personality. Just oozes personality. I'm Core the coronavirus. I don't believe in myself.
Melly says she hates him so much.
Okay, moving right along though. Number 3 in the countdown was a huge innovation in gaming. Kev, tell us what number 3 is on this countdown.
Yeah, 3D gaming. I'm really glad I got this one.
See what we did there?
Yeah. With pretty much all modern games comprising 3D rendered characters and environments, it's hard to imagine what gaming would be like without it. But this is only a fairly recent innovation. While there were games like Red Racer in the 1970s and 1980s that were ostensibly 3D, it wouldn't be until 1990s that it would become commonplace. Most early 3D games were not the best looking, and in some cases were deeply unpleasant to play. Games like Quake, Wolfenstein 3D, and Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, yes, we went there, completely changed gaming forever. No longer would simple 2D games cut the mustard. Now, most games are three-dimensional games with the betterment of graphics, software, and they are even looking better. The stride to the third dimension has changed something fundamental regarding the way games look and feel. While 3D gaming changed the way games look, so for me, I think the game that really kind of resonated that we were in a new era of gaming. Like I still have this memory, and I think this is probably why this game, even some will disagree, is still nostalgic, and one of the game changers to me is Mario 64. I just remember walking into a Blockbuster and playing and hopping on the kiosk, the Nintendo 64 kiosk, if you will, and playing it and be like, oh my God, I gotta have this somehow, at 9 or whatever, however young I was then. Like, because I had never seen anything before like that, right? Like before, Mario was just flat, and then now here he is in his 3D world, and I can look around, and I can run backwards and left and right, and what's a game for you that really that you played or saw and was like you felt just the change of the wave when 3D games started happening?
I mean, if I'm gonna talk about a game that experience that I just recently had, I can root us right back to our modular segment, Jedi Fallen Order. To go from just having to think of one of the first pioneers of a 3D jungle. I think of Donkey Kong 64, right? Okay, so you have levels that are jungle based. To go from that to flying around Kashyyyk on, fucking Star Wars Zapdos. That's really fucking cool. And I think that was one of the most immersed I ever felt, not just in a video game, but not just in a Star Wars series, but in a video game in general. So I think that's a huge win for me. What about you, Jake?
Yeah, I like how Sax said Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That's funny because that came out around the same time of the one I'm thinking. This is honestly going to be kind of like a random, but Crash Bandicoot, man. When I first got when I first got a PlayStation, because I did get the Nintendo 64, but I did not give it enough time for enough games to come out to thoroughly enjoy the N64. Yeah. I don't know if people remember, but when the Nintendo 64 first launched, it actually didn't have very many titles. There was just a very handful of games for that bad boy. Yeah. One of them being Diddy Kong Racing, which was dope. Don't get me wrong, Diddy Kong Racing. No, I'm not. I'm not at all. What I'm saying though is that was one of the few games that I had, and so I was just and then when the PlayStation come out, it had disc, and my little kid brain went, disc way better than cartridge. I need disc now. And so we got a PlayStation, and
this looks like the same things I listened to the Backstreet Boys on.
But one of the first games I played was Crash Bandicoot. There was another one that I played the fuck out of called Glover, Spyro, Gex.
Oh yeah,
Gex.
Glover. Oh god,
but Glover.
You just sent
Glover.
Our millennial ass back into nostalgia zone.
I knew I would blow some minds with Glover, but Glover, man, one of the first times I played that game, and you want to talk about kind of having having the ability to like 3D making, changes with camera and being able to move around. The fact that you were rolling on a ball and that constantly changed like how you were viewing things while you're rolling on it. I mean, huge innovation in gaming, in my opinion. Glover's mad slept on. But yeah, so those were some of the first 3D games that made me go, fuck yes.
Said Glover, dude. I forgot all about that fucking game. I haven't thought about that game till now, and I'm like, that's what I've been missing.
That's what I've been missing. Yeah, shook. Because Glover was such a good game. People sleep on Glover. Like
it was so lit. Yeah, it was.
We need the Joker retelling of Glover that leads Glover into a life of crime as Master Hand.
Oh, dude, is Glover is low key?
You might be
is Glover the backstory of Master Hand?
I think so.
I think
he
so,
lost
man.
his ball.
That's what happened. He lost his ball, and then he just never knew what to do, and so he had to find something new to play with, something new to satisfy his curiosity. And so what he decided to do was he decided to take all these living and breathing franchise characters and turn them into life-size toys for his entertainment.
I like this.
Yeah, hire me, Warner Brothers. Fucking hire me.
Yeah, hire.
All right. Well,
fucking Glover.
But while 3D gaming changed the way that games look, mobile gaming changed the way that we play them. That's what number 2 is on our countdown this week. Number 2 is mobile games. With the advent of smartphones, the gaming experience has been taken out of the arcade and the living room and put into the palm of your hands. As evidenced by the countless people on your morning train commute huddled over, which, we don't have those anymore. But back in the day, people used to be huddled over their smartphones while taking public transport. But smartphones and tablets have fundamentally changed gaming also. Consoles and PCs are no longer a requirement thanks to iOS and Android apps like Pokemon Go, Candy Crush, and Call of Duty Mobile that took the world by storm this decade. About 93% of American households in 2019 own a smartphone. Think about that, 93%. And half of those users play video games on them. So it literally, like, shitloads of people are playing games on their phones, according to us.
Constantly just hunched over on the fucking couch.
Mobile gaming, It's the new casual gamer's heroin. The 2019 mobile gaming market is estimated to be worth $152 billion. A whopping 68 billion of that comes straight from mobile games, reported gaming market analytics from Newzoo. This ballooning segment of the industry has led major publishers to make their games mobile friendly to try to rake in both fans and cash. We've seen this with games like Injustice that became a mobile version, or even the Call of Duty that I named earlier, where in Madden Mobile, where you're seeing AAA titles being watered down to a mobile version, just so that they can get more money, but more fans on the games. Apple even recently launched its own curated library of premium mobile games, Apple Arcade, making iPhones and iPads into basically hybrid gaming consoles. But mobile gaming isn't, mobile gaming, and honestly, but mobile gaming, honestly, most things on this countdown hell in comparison to number 1, which is Dodd.
Yeah.
What is the largest innovation in gaming history?
The largest innovation in gaming history, hands down, has to be online gaming. The ability to game online changed games forever. Today, most games are either primarily intended for online gaming or have some element of it built in. But this is a relatively new innovation to the history of gaming. This is especially true for MMORPGs, massive online multiplayer. Shout out to WoW, where online gaming has been, like, they fucking need a shout out, where online gaming has been an entirely different experience today. Long gone are the days of multiplayer games where it was only possible when you had your friends physically close next to you. RIP couch co-op. Nowadays, you have to connect with, you can connect with millions of other players anywhere around the world 24/7, as long as you guys have paid the exact same amount of entry fee by buying an entire console and an entire system and an entire online account. And capitalism is great, isn't it, guys? This is set to remain a staple of gaming in the long run and is quite frankly one of the greatest additions to the experience of gaming. We did talk about how online gaming has led to a real big death of couch co-op. I think we can all collectively remember the good old days of GoldenEye, where like the shit talking lobby was the lobby that you were fucking in, standing in.
God.
You
survived Call of Duty lobbies. You're a hero today.
Right. If you really, you're being in a Call of Duty lobby is like kind of standing in, like, if there was an
insurrection.
If there was for real, like standing in the halls of the Capitol, for real. I was gonna say, if you were standing in a vocal or a physical representation of what it is to be like in 8chan, if there was just, instead of posts, there was just people screaming back and forth. If you could make that, it's kind of like being in a Call of Duty lobby. But light, you'd have to like sprinkle a little bit. I feel like, no, are they? They're not. They're no. There's it's like half the time it's like fucking just racial slurs, anyways. So or fucking disgusting, jokes and sexist jokes and all that kind of stuff. But with that said, online gaming is one of the greatest innovations within gaming. We had the death of couch co-op, but we've also had the rise of what I call virtual board games. Among Us is a great example of that. I can't remember how many times, all three of us and the Nerd in general have run games of Among Us just to hang out and interact with people. And honestly, online gaming has kept a lot of us as gamers connected with our communities throughout this entire pandemic. It's one of the things that's it's now not just a part of gaming, it's a critical, crucial component to it. And games that don't have any online component, it's like, okay, well, what else are you selling that's going to get us to want to play this? Are we just playing this to, like, this is a book that we just read and people just have to know that we read it? No, I want achievements. I want fucking trophies.
Yeah. That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Now, online gaming it changed gaming forever, because, like you said, it made us like go from just being able to play on the couch to being able to play wherever, whenever and with whoever, right? And just the amount of people that you met from all over the country and world, and everything that came with that is it's truly incredible. It made it to where like just because you moved away, it didn't mean like while lobbies obviously were trash, I still have like a lot of really good memories of when I first moved from Alabama to Mississippi, and like I still had friends in Alabama that I could play games with.
It's true.
And stuff like that.
The good
like
vastly outweighs the bad.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, of course, like Zach said that it wouldn't be a Call of Duty lobby without racism. And that's true. Like, and that was the same for Halo and stuff like that. Like, there was going to be somebody that was going to call you like some sort of, slur or some sort of term that we no longer use these days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
homophobic
so like
slurs as well. There were plenty of them as well.
Yes, plenty of those. Yeah. And so it was like, that was I was just talking to Jessica about this earlier, is that kind
God
of like
you were a girl.
Oh yeah, God forbid, or God forbid you were a very young man who sounded like a girl. And so like that was
that's
they would just be brutal. But like at the same time, I felt like it was part of it. It was almost like you got to pay the troll toll. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting to use this crazy innovation and technology where some satellite in space is allowing me to play video games against somebody in fucking France, right? So I'm just gonna have to take my tea bag and go with it, just, and go home. Like,
right.
Does anybody remember the voice modulators you had on the original Xbox, like Xbox Live, where you could have like a very deep voice or a very squeaky voice?
Like,
just
you would
change it
get
up.
shit on so much for doing that.
That's my
like,
deep voice.
Who's got the voice changer on?
I know people would always call you out so quick. They'd be like, "Oh, somebody's a little bitch."
Right, but I was a kid, like I didn't want
my real voice. What this is how I actually speak. See, watch. I'll get someone else on the mic.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, if I had
I didn't really appreciate. I didn't realize
next time boomers complain about us being too sensitive or trying to cancel everything, I want to let them know, like, we grew up in the fires of Call of Duty chat lobbies and were raised on the lyrics of Eminem. Like there is a degree of our resiliency that we have that was forged in the shitty conditions that, boomers allowed to happen.
I know we've probably got a lot of young viewers, and so I'm not gonna definitely be the kind of okay boomer style fucking millennial that some people are. But at the end of the day, while these kids really love the fucking 90s, and I see a lot of Zoomers walking around wearing shit we would have wore in the 90s. Pokemon's hot because of the 90s. They keep talking about all this shit from the 90s.
Friends.
But then, you
Scene
get on.
kids are coming back. Scene
No,
kids. They're bringing fucking Neon and Rockstar back.
I try to think about it, and I've literally told people on TikTok this. Those kids would not have survived a fucking day. They would have blown a gasket. They would have blown a gasket. Yeah. They would have lost their shit.
Yeah.
They want the aesthetic of the 90s, but if they would have grew up in the 90s, they would have lost their shit, man.
Yeah.
We were forged in the fire. Thank you, Sax. That was
forged in the fire.
To be fair, we kind of sometimes like the nostalgia of the 80s, and we well, I guess we might have been okay aside from the cocaine, but
yeah.
The cocaine and Reagan.
Which honestly,
which we still felt the effects of in the 90s.
Reagan,
right?
Reagan stayed with us a lot longer than the cocaine addiction.
Yeah, literally. Reagan's campaign slogan, and a lot of people on the left may not know this, but Reagan's campaign slogan was "Make America Great."
Yeah, no, I'm well.
And so it's one of those things where Reagan never died. So the 80s, they always been here.
Yeah, that's true. They never left.
We saved our
downtown LA.
We saved our 80s remix for real life, even after Guardians of the Galaxy already pulled it off. It worked for them, right? Why not try it in our actual politics?
That's true.
Oof, man. All right. Well, that's a great note to end on. But yes, online gaming. Reaganomics. All of our podcasts lead back to Reaganomics. But yes, as far as one of the greatest innovations in gaming, online gaming definitely takes the cake. And that will wrap it up for this episode of Geek Life. We hope you've enjoyed everything today. And remember, if you want more Geek Life, you can always follow any of us on Twitter or Twitch. You can find me at Bruce Bain. Kev, where can they find you?
Totally awesome.
And Jake, where can they find you?
You can always find me at Gonzo Gone Live on all the socials.
On all the socials. You can also follow us Geek Life, that is, on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all of those things. We're going to get a Patreon soon. We're just going to keep on adding. We hopefully get the full infinity gauntlet of social medias, right? And then all of reality can be ours. That's how it works.
I highly suggest following the Tiki-Taki, though. It's fun.
Yeah, we've got some great stuff out. Great. It's got it's been pretty entertaining. We've even bringing some of that to you in our new waiting room lobby there. But yeah, big shout out to our moderator, Littlest Nelly, our video producer, Cape, with all the fresh look for season 2, y'all. I don't know if you noticed, but we got a fresh new background here, fresh new waiting room, fresh new intro.
It's so cool.
It's looking real nice.
Slightly better than Pokemon's.
Our graphics are slightly better than Pokemon's, exactly. Just slightly.
Just slightly.
And big shout out to the fattest Sax, Littlest Nelly, and Savage as well for keeping the chat alive and interjecting when you guys had some stuff. We get some gangs in chat. Gotta have those. Gotta have those Geek Life G's.
Throw your G's up.
Throw those G's up. But yeah, that'll do it. We'll be back here, same time, same place next week for more of the nerdy news you need to know. So till then, stay nerdy, nerd herd.
Peace.
Does that work?
Peace.
I don't know if that works. Peace.